The council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Velik of the Zorathian Empire stood before the assembled representatives of 43 worlds. His crystalline exoskeleton gleamed under the sterile lights, but there was nothing beautiful about the fear in his multifaceted eyes. "We sue for peace, Undu," he said, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. "The war is over. We yield." From the human delegation, Captain Sarah Chen rose slowly. She was small by human standards, barely 170 centimeters, but every species in that room had learned to fear the Deathworlders from Sol 3. Her dark eyes swept across the chamber, and Velik felt his respiratory spiracles contract involuntarily. "You yield," she repeated, her voice soft. Dangerously soft. "After 17 colonies. After 6 billion dead. After turning the children of Kepler 442b into ash. Now you yield." Velik's translator chirped nervously. "We did not understand the strength of the alliance. We made errors in judgment, but continued conflict serves no purpose. We ask for mercy, as is customary under the Pax Galactica." A rippling sound came from the human delegation. It took Velik a moment to recognize it. Laughter. Cold, bitter laughter. "Mercy," Captain Chen said, stepping down from the human platform. She walked across the chamber floor, her boots clicking against the metallic surface. Every step echoed. "Let me tell you about mercy, Ambassador." She gestured, and a holographic display materialized. Images flickered to life. Images that made even the hardened warriors among the council delegation look away. "Mercy," Chen continued, "is what the colonists on Haven's Rest asked for when your ships appeared. They were terraformers, scientists, children. They broadcast their surrender for 6 hours while your ships prepared their weapons. Do you remember what your commander said?" Velik's exoskeleton darkened, a Zorathian flush of shame. He remembered. Everyone in the galaxy remembered. "Weakness deserves extinction," Chen quoted. Those were his words. Then he fired. The hologram shifted. A young human child, no more than 7 standard years old, stared out from the display. Her name had been Maya. She had loved drawing pictures of the strange birds on Haven's Rest. The image flickered, replaced by crater scans of where her settlement had been. "The thing about humans, Ambassador," Chen said, now standing directly before Velik, "is that we come from a world that has tried to kill us since the moment we developed consciousness. Predators, diseases, weather, that could freeze or boil you within hours. Volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis. Our planet is classified as a Class 12 death world, one of only 3 in known space." She paused, letting that sink in. "We evolved to survive the unsurvivable. We learned to remember, and we learned that mercy is not weakness, it's a choice, a gift given to those who deserve it." Velik's translator struggled with his rapid clicking. Then what do you propose? Extermination?" "We are 40 billion souls." "No," Chen interrupted. "We're not you." She turned to address the full council. "The Zorathian Empire will be dismantled, their military dissolved. Their warships will be converted to cargo vessels under Alliance supervision. Their government will be restructured with representatives from every species they've attacked. They will spend the next century rebuilding every world they've destroyed, and their economy will be dedicated to paying reparations to the families of every being they've killed." Velik's legs trembled. That is servitude. That is the destruction of our culture." "No," Chen said, her voice sharp as a blade. "That is justice. Your culture of conquest ends today, but you get to live. You get to rebuild. You get to show the galaxy that you can be better than what you were." She leaned closer, and Velik could smell the strange, organic scent of the Deathworlder. It reminded him that humans were persistence hunters on their nightmare world, predators who tracked prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. "You asked for mercy, Ambassador. Here it is. We're not going to kill you. We're going to make you face every family whose child you murdered, every widow, every orphan. You're going to look them in the eye and help rebuild what you destroyed, for however long it takes." Captain Chen straightened. "That's what mercy looks like when it comes from Earth. We could do what you did. We could turn your worlds to glass. We have the weapons. God knows we have the anger." Her voice cracked slightly. "Maya was my niece." The chamber fell into absolute silence. "But we won't," Chen continued, her composure returning like steel. "Because we're better than you. Because mercy isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing to build rather than destroy, even when destruction would be easier. Even when every fiber of your being screams for vengeance. She turned back to the council. The human delegation submits these terms to the council for approval. The Zorathian Empire has one standard week to accept. If they refuse, she left the sentence hanging. Velik knew what came after that silence. He had seen the human fleets. He had watched them fight with a ferocity that defied tactical logic. Ships ramming capital vessels when their weapons failed. Boarding parties that fought centimeter by centimeter through station corridors. Never retreating, never surrendering. Humans were terrifying not because they were cruel, but because they weren't. They were terrifying because they could be pushed to the edge of genocide and still choose justice over revenge. "We accept," Velik said quietly. "We accept your terms." Captain Chen nodded slowly. "Then the war is over, and the rebuilding begins." As she walked back to the human delegation, one of the younger council members, a Trellan observer experiencing his first major conflict resolution, whispered to his mentor, "I thought humans were supposed to be warriors, destroyers." The older Trellan's feathers ruffled in what might have been amusement. "They are the greatest warriors in known space. That's exactly why they choose to be builders instead. Remember this day, young one. You've witnessed something rare. You've seen Deathworlders deliver mercy, and somehow, that was more terrifying than any weapon they've ever built." In the observation gallery hidden from the main chamber, Admiral Marcus Webb watched his daughter handle the negotiation. He remembered holding Maya at her birth. He remembered teaching her to draw. And he remembered making the hardest decision of his military career. Holding the fleet back, giving diplomacy one more chance, choosing his daughter's way over his instincts. "Sir," his aide said quietly, "the fleet is ready." "If they had refused, they didn't," Webb said, his voice rough. "Sarah was right. We don't survive as a species by becoming monsters. We survive by staying human." Below, the council voted. The terms passed unanimously. The war was over, and in their mercy, the humans had proven themselves the most dangerous species in the galaxy, because they had the power to destroy and the wisdom to choose otherwise. That more than any weapon was what kept the peace for the next 1,000 years.